smashing it up my ass. Not doing all this shit again.
Professionals!
Just for you lunatics that have watched some of our videos, this is like the 12th time we've recorded this tonight. We started at 4 o'clock this afternoon. Me and Sam had long hair. It was ridiculous. Right.
It started off with just me and Eddy.
Yeah. So, quick recap. Last week, you are in the port town of Toul, surrounded by many sailors of various races and creeds. You're basically looking for another ship to the northeast to go to the Dragonborn city of Karan, and you all split up to go look your own ways. Big Sam, aka Argen the Bard, decided to get punched in the face twice by a very angry dwarf, play a game of dancing goblin, and cheat 10 times better than the other bloke. Well played. I hate you. Sleight of hand, shit skill. And yeah, he did that, which was great. Etain, who is not with us tonight, she went and spoke to a couple of dwarves, a couple of humans, and just tried to sort out a cheaper boat north. Got a couple of options there. Elantara managed to speak to one of the elves in the tavern they were in, called the Dark Art, and was then led to speak with the elven shipmate that was docked in Toul, and discovered that they had an important person from their lands upon the ship that needed escorting deeper into Atoria, and Elantara offered aid if they could. Sendraks, Nalla, Malzef, and Argen all headed to the Merchant Square to talk about fight pits and maybe making a bit more gold, because even though they're adventurers, they're skint.
I'm not.
You're about to be. So we left it at Malzef was talking to a gentleman at selling swords. He spoke to them about the fight pits and explained that you could make a lot of money. Tonight's probably the best. And we left it there. 3, 2, 1, go. Malzef.
My friend.
I've told you in the first 3 videos, I'm not betting on you. All right? I'm not betting on you.
Could you please point us in the direction of this fighting pit?
He has a moment of deja vu, and he points over your shoulder, and he's like, "You see where all those shops are?
Is it follow the crowd?
What? Listen to the bar. Follow the crowd.
Follow the crowd. Follow the crowd. Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
You know, I thought I'd just finish your sentence there. Sorry.
Thank you. You can get a discount.
Oh, can I?
No. So
I heard you lie about your swords anyway.
That's a lie. So Elantara, after you finished speaking with Eto, did you were heading to the Merchant Square to meet up with them, correct?
Yes.
So you see them talking. They're stood at a sword stall. There's a lot of stalls selling like weapons, armor. This is nothing overly magical. They're just very standard things. And there are alchemists. There are alchemists selling things in bottles. There are herbalists. There are cloth sellers. There are fresh fish, sugar dates, and pistachios. Various flavors of non-copyrighted soul. And in the middle of the market area, there is a large gecko, about the size of a dog, fountain. The gecko's made of stone, spitting water into the little pool. And you see your friends. You can't miss Nalla. She's a good person to beam in on.
Mm-hmm.
You lot see Elantara walking towards you.
Elantara.
Hello. So, how much do we know about this Dragonkin city?
Not a huge amount, to be full.
I feel, Elantara, you're going to tell us some facts about this Dragon City.
That's really perceptive of you. So, they don't like elves. They don't like Goliaths. They don't like people, basically. We're taking on a lot going there. That is absolutely what we want to do.
They may like people who can cash in a 5,000 gold bounty.
We're not cashing in Sendraks. He's right there.
Don't worry, lad. I'm all right with it, I tell you.
I'm pretty sure he's not, but yes.
This is so meta.
Meta pigeon.
Or did he storm off while I was chatting to the? But no, we should
Okay.
not
No.
perhaps rush into it.
We definitely shouldn't rush into it.
Maybe you could like
If
become
on a different note, Argen. On a different note, the elven ship has a lady aboard of some importance, and they're looking for additional guards to escort her. And if we are looking to get transport to the Dragonborn city, assisting in this would go somewhere to securing that transport.
Who? So these the elves or the elven gentlemen you spoke
Yes.
to? Okay. Did you learn anything more about them, or just that they don't like the dragon? Or do the elves like the Dragonborn?
I don't get an impression one way or another.
I see. Because
The elves do not go to that city and spend time in it, remain in good health.
When do the elves set sail for Quran?
That could be a couple of weeks.
depending
They
on
have to deal with
this lady.
Yes, this VIP that they have.
When do they set off for this VIP? Do we have a bit of time? We were intending to go to a fight pit.
Well, I said that I would come and speak with the rest of my companions and then return by nightfall to see if this was something that we wanted to take on or not.
Okay. Perhaps. What time of day is it?
Evening, 5 o'clock ish.
Perhaps we check this fight pit out as an
We have
option.
time. We have time to look at the fight pit first. Yeah.
and then
Let's go and do that.
skirt over there if it doesn't look too like we can get involved.
Sendraks leans in, with his Jedi robe covering over. He's like, if that's going to go to a fight pit, then I might want to hide me away. I don't want to get noticed.
Could you
find finding somewhere to rent, like a room I could hide in?
Yes, perhaps. Is there any taverns looking around? Is there any taverns? Or?
Yeah. There's back the way you came. There's plenty of taverns and there's plenty of little hanging wooden signs saying rooms to rent.
Did any look quieter than
Nope.
the rest? They're all pretty rammed.
As rowdy as the taverns. There is a lot of pleasure workers. Just talking to Giles. There's a lot of pleasure workers, male, female, of various races.
Okay. So, do you mind, Sendraks? Do you mind if it is a? I don't think this town has or this port has many places that they're going to be quiet. But you could stay in a room.
I don't mind staying in a room. It'd be quiet.
Okay.
I'll put the security measures in place.
He's going to drag a door, a bed in front of the door, I think.
What about the quiet? There was apparently a quiet bar that Elantara was at. No, wait, Etain was looking at, right?
She went to a bar called White Locks.
Yeah, there was like a quiet bar.
I'm just going to here. I think it sells pizza.
Okay.
We could take him to.
White Locks is about 4 buildings away from you.
We could go to the White Lock.
Does it look
because
quiet?
That's the one. Apparently, it was quiet. Yeah, that's where the Elantara went there.
This is where the captains.
Etain went there. Sorry.
This is where the captains and such go.
Yeah, it's not got like loads of rowdy drunken people there.
What you might be best off doing, Sendraks, is if you go in there now without all of us, because it looks more suspicious if we're all walking around together. If you just walk in as an off the street kind of gentleman, Etain is already in there, and I'm sure she can come up with something to back you up. But if you go, say alone, we will be about. If we hear anything, we will wait here for a minute. You should be able to just walk in and get a room yourself.
Ah, lad, I'll go see what Etain's doing.
Perfect.
And off he slumps this 6'6" covered in armour with a halberd and a Jedi robe covering him, looking like Quasimodo on Steds.
Inconspicuous.
Yeah, like a ninja at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And you see him, you keep an eye on him, and he eventually disappears into White Locks.
Any screams or shouting come from the White Locks as you walked in?
No. 7 people come through the window.
I think you'll be okay. That was the quietest pub around there. I remember Etain telling me.
Something about just captains and things like that go there. Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Anyway,
We've given it a second, right?
Oh yeah, we'll give it a second.
Okay. Let's.
Elantara's looking at the fresh fish. Oh wait, she's come back with a pizza.
Yep.
That must be a traditional
I found what looks like native food.
Etorian delicacy.
Yeah. Port town of Toul is well known for its dough and tomato sauce.
Right. We should head to the fight pit.
Yes.
Right. Nalla, you good? You ready?
Yep.
You should be inspired.
The elven ship, do they want payment or is it in with bodyguarding?
I think
It's not as straightforward as that. What they suggested was that by assisting with his bodyguarding, by aiding them, you would then be more considered for space for passage.
Oh. But it is the cheaper option, I think, or hopefully.
Quite possibly so, yes.
Perhaps if this dragonborn city is as perhaps as dangerous as they make out, it would do as well to have some allies or rapport with other people.
I agree.
So even if we do it just to build up a relationship.
I think it would stand us in good stead.
Good. All right, to the fight pit.
So you make your way past more of the merchant shops. You see there was a lot of people like milling. It seems to be getting thicker and thicker with the crowd. Everyone's joking, and everyone seems that those that are near the taverns are clearly blottoed. Those near the merchants are just happy, merry. Seems to be the done thing that as soon as you get off a ship, get a beer down you or a wine. You start making your way through the smaller alleyways of the buildings. They're like wooden, and then they go back to stone, and they're a lot better made than the taverns on the front that just seem to be in constant repair. You go around, you follow it goes up a little bit, down, it starts going uphill, and you realise that you're actually going like up. It's rising quite steeply, so not far. It's just pretty steep, pretty quick. And then it flattens out for a moment, and the buildings become really tall and almost hide the sun from you. So it's quite cool walking up these alleyways now because the buildings are so tall, blocking out the sun. And as the sword merchant said, there's quite a crowd, and they start pouring out of shops and stuff. And it takes you about half an hour. You're walking further back into Toul, and you get to it almost opens up into a flat, not cobbled, but crazy paved sort of area. And it branches out, and then at the far side of the crazy paved area, you get a wooden stall that is the only way in. It's almost like a ticket booth, and then behind it is a wooden building that looks brand new. It's all wooden, boards, everything looks like it's been there 6 months, and the only way in is this ticket booth type wooden thing, and there is a dwarf just sat, and there is a queue coming back to where you guys are, all going towards this ticket booth. And there's a few people around you, and then you see off to the left 6, maybe 7 young to their mid, so between their early 20s and mid 30s. They've all got swords, spears, shields, bits of like padded leather armor on, a bit of tatted leather coming over the shoulders, some on the shins. They seem to just be rolling the shoulders and like, you know, cracking the necks and stuff. And people are handing money over to this dwarf ahead of you.
Okay. Are you sure you don't want to do this, Malda?
Well, I think perhaps Nalla. Nalla is our best bet. If it is a physical competition,
Is it not a group competition?
we'd have to ask the dwarf. I think he looks as if he is in charge.
Do you want me to go and have a word?
Sure.
I see I've great luck with dwarves recently.
As he's walking off, I'm like, did the dwarf not hit you in there? It'll be fine.
I will wander up to the
You
dwarf.
join the queue. So you join the queue.
Yeah.
About 15 minutes passes as you're just next. You can see now that you see that it actually is 7 people pottering around, all like just doing stretches and stuff. You see behind them that they've got sacks with what appears to be more armor and more weapons and such, and a couple of shields. There are people that have now paid their gold to the dwarf, now heading over to these, well, quite clearly fighters, and they're just talking to them, and they've sort of got their own little groups of fans, as it were. The gentleman, as you get closer and closer, there is a human that speaks to the dwarf, and then he walks over carrying different coloured sashes to these 7 fighters. He hands them all out, and there's 7 different colours that he hands them all out to. You're about 3 people away. There's two young lasses in front of you, 2 young human ladies. They're really giggling and looking forward to the fighting, and there's a gentleman directly in front of you as they're paying, who's really old, and he's done nothing but complain out loud about the lack of talent. It's not like the good old days. He's just not happy. He's still in the queue and still going to pay, and he hands over his gold. He moves out of the way. You stood there. There's a dwarf sat on a thick stool. He's got a massive gut, broad shoulders, very stereotypical, short and stout for a dwarf. His beard is really black and close to his face, and then a single braid down, and his hair is shaved short back and sides.
Mm-hmm.
He's just sat there. He's got scars all over his face, his forearms. He's got his shirt, it rolls up to his shoulders. His arms are out. Thick shoulders, thick arms, thick forearms, all covered in tiny scars, and his face is covered in them as well. I'm sure. Right, boy.
Right, sir. I'm here for a fight pit. I was told to do a fight pit.
You were watching or you were fighting?
Well, I've got a bit of a group of our lads who were looking at fighting.
Oh, group fighting. Well, it's 50 gold a head to join, and your winnings are double what you pay to get in. You can fight 1-on-1, 2-on-2, 3-on-3. You can fight to the death where the winnings are doubled again. But if you die, well, you die.
Okay. So we can, I don't know, I've got like 4 people.
4 of you? Well, if 4 of you want to fight, lad, that'll be 200 gold.
And to the death, 400?
To the death, you'll win what you win, so that'll be 2, 4, 400, and then 2 again, so you get 800. If you'd have to kill all them though, but you'll be fighting to the death as well.
What, them ones over there? And I gesture towards the.
Out of 7 lads, I will pick 4 for you to fight, and then you'll fight. To the death though, there's no coming back.
Okay. I'll be back in a minute. I'll just go put that towel out. I'll see you in a bit.
When you come back, speak to the man with the sashes if you're going to be fighting. I've got other money to take. Now, move along, pal.
I head back.
You head back?
Yep. Maldev,
Yes.
we could make some substantial money here.
How so? Did he say the price?
50 gold a head.
50 gold a head.
And
That is a lot of money.
Yeah.
That is a lot of money.
It is a lot of money. But if we win, it could be upwards of 800 gold pop.
50 gold a head for 800 gold, just for winning one fight.
Yes.
Is there any? What are the catches? Like, there must be something.
There's very few catches. One of which being that it's a fight to the death.
A fight to the death. Perhaps we should not do this. We don't know what they have.
We could choose to fight not to the death.
They could pull
What
anything
if they
out of
choose
them.
to fight to the death?
It's still too.
What if
It's
they
still.
choose to fight to the death?
Is this 50 gold a lifetime membership? This is a lot of gold.
50 gold to enter.
Is that to
And
like
get
register
double the
yourself?
gold back.
Is that like
If
to
we-
register yourself? That seems a lot of money.
Well, I assume that's making it worth it. I don't know.
When you could.
That is staking a lot towards the money that we could use.
If someone's got like 57 gold, I could pay for us to enter.
That seems like a lot, though. Do we want to risk that much?
I'm not comfortable with us risking that much.
Okay.
Is there not cheaper stakes? Is there not a?
Well, the cheaper stake is that you don't gamble with your life, but you don't get the same reward.
So it's either a fight to the death or no fight at all. Is that what you're saying?
No. What I'm saying is it's 50 gold ahead to fight base. The reward, however, if you fight with no stake, it's just double your money. With fight to the death, it's double again.
So we could win 400 gold if we go in.
Or 800 gold if you went in.
I don't think we should risk fighting to the death.
I mean, we're all pretty rested, right? Well, I'm a bit sore,
I'm
but
fine, but
we have fought worse
to the
things
death,
than that
Argen.
over there.
Do we know what would be fighting?
Those gentlemen over there, and I point to the warriors with the different coloured sashes.
What race are they?
They're all human.
perhaps just a it
Do
is
they
still
have
a lot to
weapons on
risk. 50 gold.
Do they have weapons on them?
Yep, they have swords, spears, shields, various patches of studded leather over their shoulders and chests and hero belts and shins.
Are we restricted to just weapons?
I didn't get.
Are we alright to do magic in there?
I didn't ask. I'm sorry.
That's alright.
If we cannot do magic, there is no point in entering at all.
Well, there's no point in me entering. No, well,
Any of us.
the
Bar Nalla. She cannot, perhaps. Well, I don't want to say this, but maybe she can take all four, but let's not risk it.
I really don't want to be taken on all four.
Well, you only ever fight one-on-one, so.
The gentleman with the sashes comes over after talking to the dwarf, and you notice that the dwarf sort of just like ushers towards Argen, and he comes down. He sees an elderly gentleman, shaved head, a little bit of a beard. He's still got the olive skin, and he's like, "So, are you taking part?"
We need to know whether the rules, if there is any.
The rules.
Yeah.
So if you wish to fight, it's 50 gold per person.
That is still a lot of money.
You can state how many you want to fight, whether you just want to fight one person, at which point you will win double your money. If you fight two people, you will get their stake as well, and so on and so forth. So if you put 50 gold in and fight 4 people, you will get your 50 gold back plus 200 gold. If you just want to one-on-one, you can. If you want to fight to the death, it's double and double again.
How much do we have between us? Could you give us a second, my friend? Come back in a minute. We just need to discuss some things.
Also, before you leave, how about like the use of magics?
The use of magics. If the fighters wish to use magic, as long as both fighters agree, then that's fine.
Okay.
Usually, magic is held for the larger fight pits known as the arenas. We are just we are busy because we are a port, but on the levels of fame, we have a lot of fighters starting out here, who then move into the bigger cities. Most of them are Marsh.
Is there an arena here?
You're stood in it.
Oh, so okay.
Is the 50 gold? Is that a registration fee, or do we have to keep paying that every time we fight?
We are not. It is every time you fight here.
I see.
But you can, if you get yourself a representative for the arenas, you would pay them. What did you call it? A registration fee, and you could become a gladiator.
Can you give us a moment, my friend? Come back in a second. We need to discuss.
He just gives a little nod and off he walks.
Thank you.
Blue tunic flapping.
What do we have between us?
In the group funds, we have 485 gold.
From the that is from when we were fighting in crew.
Yeah. I have 143 gold from winning that card game earlier.
We could use the group fund to do this, but
I just don't know how much we're going to need for the boat.
this is what I'm thinking.
And there was no guarantee that they would put magic against them, whoever we were up against.
Well, this is we would put the stipulation on that we would only enter if they allow the use of magic, because otherwise it is pointless.
Mm.
So
we could probably convince them.
I think it is a risk, but 400 gold. We have seen that we are capable when we fought in crew. Perhaps this is an opportunity to double our money.
What about the
As long as
how lucky we're feeling, like with the extra? I know it's a greed thing, but I think we're quite capable.
I do not feel comfortable if we are fighting people who are choosing to fight to make money. If we are fighting people who have attacked us on the high road, that is a different matter. I would kill to save my life. This is not killing for our lives. It is killing for money, which we can make in other ways.
Okay.
We would pick the people up. We cannot fight to the death.
No. Perhaps not. No.
No,
It is.
Or if we speculate, no, that's a terrible idea. I'll shut up.
It is a big ask for such a large amount of gold, but my only concern is that leaves us, if we lose, that leaves us with less and less money to, one, get ourselves to Quran if that is where we wish to be, and two, when we get to Quran, we need as much money behind us as we can. But perhaps, Nalla, would you wish to fight? You are the probably the most warrior-like of us. Would you be up for fighting?
Yeah.
Argen, you are looking to experience life, yes?
I will fight if you guys are fighting. That's my answer.
But again, I don't want to do it to the death.
We would not fight to the death. That is crazy.
Elantara makes a good point. We aren't in the business of killing people, really.
Elantara, would you wish to fight not to the death?
Pizza.
Delicate elven throat clearing. You are my companions, and if we choose to go into this, I will stand with you.
Well, then perhaps in interest of Argen wishing to experience life, Nalla wishing to get in the fight like Nalla does, and in all honesty, I wish to see this. This might be. We fought well in crew. This might be something that we
And
can.
we fought well, and you guys fought well on the ferry, and I'm sorry to say we're looking pretty impressive.
If we do this, we
And
we
if
lose. If we do this and
all-
we, sorry.
push come to shove, Elantara can turn into a giant monkey. You know, I don't know what I'll do, but
If we do this, if we do this and we lose, we should make sure that Etain and Sendraks, we put funds back into the group pot, as it were, to make sure that they have not lost anything because of our foolish endeavour if we lose.
well, Nalla's got the money.
Well, we could perhaps find a way to earn more, but this is a chance, perhaps.
Yeah.
Something new, something different.
Let's stretch our legs.
Call the man with the sash back over.
Hey! I start waving.
He sees you signalling and he comes over and he's like, yes, have we decided?
I believe we would like to fight.
How many of you?
Us four.
Oh, 4 of you. That will be 200 gold, please.
On the premise that we are allowed to use magic.
That is up to the other fighters, not myself.
We cannot enter if we are not allowed to use magic.
Can we speak to the other fighters?
How many of you will be using magic?
3.
Okay, give me a moment.
Not that one.
And he walks over to the 7, and you see him talking to him, and they look over to you guys, and 2 of them shake their heads. Like, no, completely.
I particularly look more like trying to make something look really weak and shaking.
You're doing a grand job, Argen. The other 5 sort of, and they're all right with it. The other 5 are okay with it. And he comes back. Yes, so 2 say no, 5 say they're okay with magic. Are you fighting 5, 4? What's the?
I think it's just what we can fight more.
We could fight more or less as long as the other fighters agree.
4 on 4, perhaps.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll keep it fair, I think.
Okay. 200 gold, please. And you are okay with them using magic, yes?
It is only fair.
Certainly.
Lovely.
I hand over the gold.
Before we go, this is not to the death, correct?
Yes.
Correct.
Okay. So
I'll
he
let
takes
them
the
answer.
200 gold, puts it in the pouch. The pouch at his side is probably big enough to fit about 10 gold pieces in. And you've seen him taking money off a couple of the fighters and yourselves, and it just pours in, and the pouch doesn't get any bigger.
Interesting.
He walks over. About half, get yourselves ready. There'll be a fight before you, and then, well, seeing as it's 4 on 4, there's no point waiting. So you guys sort yourselves out, and we'll give you a shot. We will need names for you when we call them. My dwarven friend will do the announcing, so have a think, and we'll get back to you. So he potters off, talks to the dwarf. The dwarf comes out. He comes out from his ticket booth. You see he's like waddling along, and they start ushering people. And the same guard-esque folk that you saw on the tavern doors with the blue sashes, they're now up and around milling people into a circle in the like crazy paved area. You've got about 50 foot by 50 foot square, and they all like usher around. So you've now got a person-made fighting area. He steps forward and he's like, "Ladies and gentlemen, the first fight will be Attaccus Maximus versus Maximus Attaccus."
Brilliant name.
Brilliant. It's all right. I've got the cool stuff for you guys. And the first 2 that you saw say no to the magic step up, and they face the dwarf, and they basically face all 4 sides of the square and give a little nod, put their hand to their heart, their fist to their heart, give a little bow, and take ready with their spears and swords. They put like, they're not full plate helms, they're like makeshift leather helms on. They start circling each other. First one comes in, spear comes off the shield. Next one throws his spear, he rolls out the way. They're very back and forth. They throw a few more spears. Becky, Nalla, give me a perception check.
Well,
12. So as they're fighting away, the smaller of the two stabs forward with his spear, stabs again, and then backs off. Whereas the other guy comes in with his sword and swings 3 times at him. This all happens in about 6-7 seconds. Yeah. Whilst this is going on, there is a gentleman with a couple of other folk around him, and he's got like a clipboard and parchment. And he's going, yeah, it's very nice movement. Could probably do a bit more if he swung left. Needs a high guard. That one needs a bit more meat on him. Clearly assessing the thing. He doesn't look like he's from Atoria. He's definitely human. His skin's a lot more paler, not as tanned. Well, it's more red than tanned. He probably doesn't do well in the sun. He wears the desert garb, similar to Malzef, but doesn't look or sound like he's from the desert. His hair is chestnut brown. He's got a bit of stubble, but the things he's wearing are quite expensive, a lot more expensive than what Malzef is wearing, and he's assessing the fights. As you're watching, a few more seconds pass, goes on about 18-20 seconds, and the person fighting with the sword and shield hits the other guy twice, one on one side of his neck, once on the other side of his neck, and draws blood. The guy takes a knee. The crowd goes wild. They back off. Dwarf comes on. He's like, all right, that's the first fight over. Round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Round of applause. Maximus Attaccus won. Here's his prize, and he gives him a pouch of gold. The other guy's got his head down, and they sort of like hug it out and then walk off through the crowd again to the other side. Now we've got a bunch of lunatics here that want to try it on. They don't look like fighters of the pits, but they're going to give it a go. But first, while they're, I'll get their names in a second. I'd like to introduce Pretorius, the sword. Gentleman steps forward. He's got 2 swords in his hand, 2 short swords in his hand, studded leather. Agurios, the hammer. He steps forward. He's got a 2-handed hammer in his hand. Armenis, the ram. He comes on, short sword, shield. And Garbello, the slayer. He comes on with a great axe. Yep.
Nice.
Now he walks over to you and he's like, what are your names?
Do you mind, my friend? Do you mind if this gentleman here announces us? He is our speaker.
Go for it, lad.
What want to do it right now?
Sure.
Yeah?
I think. Is this the right time?
We get a move on, lad.
Okay, right. Ladies and gentlemen, may I introduce to the ring Malzef, the Magi. Elantara, the Raven. Nalla, the Rock. And Argen, the Hard Place.
Yay! Crowd are all giddy. Dwarf looks at it, he's like, yeah. Right, the fight is 4-on-4, not to the death. And as he says not to the death, a lot of the crowd are like, ah.
As he's speaking.
As you walk off, hang on. Before you walk into the thingy, the gentleman that was assessing everyone You just hear him say to the shorter gentleman next to him, the big one looks, like she's got potential. Go on, Malza.
As he's speaking, can I quickly whisper and cast a spell on myself? Gatoreth kos cantereth nak, and grip a piece of leather around my hand, and air just starts rippling around me and solidifies around myself. And I'll cast Mage Armor on myself. That's cool.
Cool. You can indeed.
I walk up to Nalla. Nalla, come here. Come in. Right, I want a good clean fight. Go for the eyes and throw up the balls a lot, yeah? Right.
Clean man.
Right. And I give you bardic inspiration.
What does bardic inspiration do, Sam?
For the next 10 minutes, you can add a D8, because I've leveled up, to your attack, defense, saving throws, and damage rolls, because I'm an Elantara.
But you can only do it once, yeah?
Once you expend it, that's it.
Makes sense, Nalla? Elantara, do you wish to do any spells before you walk in?
Yes, I'm going to get some mistletoe, rub it a little bit on my stick, and I'm going to cast a shillelagh.
Right, so you all go in. You stood there. You're looking at these guys, and give me another perception check, Nalla.
16.
Cool. So, growing up in the Pride Mountains and having to wrestle with the mountains themselves just to survive, being a larger lady, well, larger everything really, you know when someone can swing a sword, lift it up, bench press the last two fighters you watched, they were skilled, talented, they had endurance, but you'd expect to see them at this level. These four, they're not. They're better than the other two. Yeah, they seem better equipped. They seem fitter. They're older. They've got a few more scars on them. You reckon they can fight? So,
Do I reckon they are just fighters, or
that's the only thing your barbarian-ness would pick up.
okay, that's fine.
So, you all stood there. Dwarf comes in. He's like, right, 4 on 4, not to the death, but unconscious. If you can still stand up, you can still fight. If you do die, I apologise. You should have pulled it. Once you're out, do not strike anyone that's unconscious. You got that? They all, yeah.
Yes,
Do they have to stay down?
Once you're down, you're down. No reviving, no healing, you're down.
Okay.
First to drop, you're out. Right, it's last man standing. No offence, lady. And he potters off. 3, 2, 1, roll initiative.
Gladiator, ready! Got a 15. Oh wait, that's wrong. I got a 17.
I got a 15.
Hang on.
I got 22.
Oh my god.
I know, right? Just going to put the light on. Easier if I didn't have dogs everywhere, thanks, Chico.
So since you've got 22.
Yeah.
Malza.
I got a natural 20, which also gives me 22. Yeah.
Nalla.
15.
Holy shit. Argen.
17.
So they all back off. So you back off to your side, they back off to their side. So there is now 40 feet between you and them. Your initiative's been rolled. The dwarf's got his hand in the air. Begin. Elantara and Malzef, you go first.
How close are they together? Are they all in a group as well?
Mm.
They are stood, then a 5 foot. There's a square in between each of them, mate. So person 5 foot, person 5 foot, person 5 foot.
Are they in a square themselves?
They're in a line like you guys. 4
Okay.
line. You literally stood like this. This is your initial go.
I'm gonna go the 2 on the right. I'm gonna say Cartoreth Candiste and cast Shatter in between both of them, which is a 10-foot sphere, so it should hit both of them.
10-foot sphere?
Yep.
Yep.
Cool. And they've got to make Constitution saving throws.
19 and an 18.
Both of them save. So they take half damage for saving. Let me roll the damage. 6. So they take 8 points of thunder damage.
Each, yeah?
Yep.
Cool. Is that your go? Are you using your movement?
Am I right at the back of the arena?
Yeah, you're in a square of people.
Yep.
And them 4 are lined up and you 4 are lined up.
Cool. So I'm pressed against the wall, basically, or as close as I can be.
Yeah, you're
cool.
pressed against people. Yep. You're 40 foot from them.
Cool. I will stay there.
Cool.
Okay, I'm going to. Is it my go now?
It is. Well, you act at the same time.
Okay, cool. I'm going to pull some little thorns out of my belt pouch, crumple them, cast them to the ground, and point at the ground at the centre of the 4 of them because it spells a 20-foot radius. It is. I know, right? That's quite good.
Oh God, it's got.
Oh, I've lost it. Spike growth.
20-foot radius, yeah. So
yeah.
So it'll hit the crowd as well.
Oops.
Oh
well, mistakes get made.
So it'll be 20 foot towards you and 20 foot away from them. So they're in a circle of 40 feet, yeah.
Right. Okay.
That's massive. Is that right?
I know, right? 20. It says 20-foot radius.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's massive. Oh, lovely. Yeah,
I know, right?
Yeah, lovely.
Let's basically fuck up their side of the arena. And
is this where they take damage as they move forwards?
Yeah! The area becomes difficult terrain for the duration. When a creature moves into or within the area, it takes... it says 2d4, but I'm sure it goes up now that I'm level 5. Let me double check that.
Jesus Christ.
It looks natural.
Okay. Is that your go?
Yep.
I'll come back to it. You'll have to keep reminding me of that because I'll forget. Does it do anything to the people, to anyone in it already, or only when they move?
Only when they try and move.
Okay. Elantara, mother, Argen. You've just seen a boom go off, and the 2 guys on the other side just be like, wow, what the fuck? And then you saw Elantara come for some mistletoe.
Does anyone look like they are like any bows or staffs?
What, wielding?
Yeah.
Nope. They have, one of them has 2 swords, one of them has a great hammer, one of them has sword and shield, the other one has a great axe.
Cool. I'll move to the right hand side, just like if it's a circle, yeah?
It's a square.
It's a square.
Yeah.
I'll move to the bottom left corner-ish area. Or just move toward
You're left, yeah?
Hmm?
You're left.
Yes, just side.
Yeah, bottom left.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'll draw my bow and just ping one of them.
Ooh.
Yeah. I'll just shoot the one that got hit by Malzeth, but in the middle. So that makes any sense.
Yep.
Yeah. 24.
24. That hits.
I just dropped every dice on the floor. It's a D8. I found a D8. There we go. And it's giving you a good roll. There you go. 12.
12.
12 points of piercing damage. And it hits you.
That's a really good D8, man.
Yeah.
Okay, math's gone weird around here. Right, so that's Nalla.
Hold on. Bonus action.
Oh, go on then.
I shout to Malzef. Malzef, give him your best. And give him bardic inspiration. That's a D8, mate. You can use that for everything. Go.
Note down how many you're using.
Yeah, I've got 3 of them, so I've got one.
Cool. Right, so that's Argen. Nalla. Boom's gone off. Elantara's clearly done something on the wall. Argen's fucked off, shouted at Malzef, and put an arrow in the shoulder of one on the other side.
I'm going to rage.
She's got a rage. It's your bonus action, yeah?
Yeah.
Would like to rage.
How far away are they from us?
They are 40 feet.
Right, I can walk 40 feet.
Okay, you can walk right up to them.
Do I still get to hit them?
You do, because your movement's 40 feet. So you can move, which is 40 feet, and then you still have your attacks. I think at this level you have 2.
I don't know.
You do.
Okay, I do then.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to go to the one that's directly in front of me, but obviously 40 foot away.
Okay, so that'll be the guy with the great hammer.
Okay, that's fine.
You walk
Just
20
watch
feet.
yourself closing, everyone.
You walk 20 feet, and as you go 25 feet, what does she have to do, Elantara?
Oh, I've moved on to different spell. Shit. You take 2d4 piercing damage for every 5 feet you travel.
2d4.
So you would need to
Rolling
take
that.
10d4 damage to get to him. Oh, sorry. 5, 10, 15, 12. 8d4 damage.
Do I need to roll, or is it just?
Sarah does.
Okay.
So 8d4 damage, and
then
you half it back. Because you're raging.
Wait, if I find a d4. Oh, I've lost that earring ages ago. Hey, d4. Right. How far is she travelling? How many rolls?
She's travelling 20 feet, so 4, so 8d4. Is it 2d4 you said?
Yes.
Yeah, so she's 8d4.
12.
Roll low.
23 points of damage.
23?
Yeah.
Half Nalla, because you're raging, so just take 11.
And that's why I rage.
You have now gone stomp, that hurts, stomp, that hurts, stomp, that hurts, stomp. What the fuck is going on?
Right. Let's smash
You're
it.
now stood in front of Agurios, the hammer. He stood there, great hammer in hand. He's a fit lad, but he's no barbarian.
20 to hit.
Well, shit, that hit.
Damage.
Dun, 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 dun. We need some music.
Why did they have to update this thing?
What you hitting with your great axe?
Yeah, just a normal weapon. I rolled an 8, but I can't remember what I add to it.
It's a D12 plus your strength modifier.
Gosh.
So if you roll, how strong are you? 19. So it'll be a +4.
I don't know what's the strength plus 8.
The strength +8. That's your save, love. Jesus.
I can't see because it's not loaded. 1d12.
How did you bring that up? Don't know. +5.
Okay.
So it's 13. Yeah?
Yeah.
13 into the hammer.
Oh, do I get 2 hits?
You do. Grass comes smashing down. Wham! Mother Kipper! The war cry of the proud mountain.
21.
Mother Kipper.
21.
21 will do it.
Wow.
Anyone want to roll under a 20? Feel free.
15
We
damage.
came here to win a fight, right?
15. 2 massive gashes open up in his chest. He's just laughing at you. Yes! Now, gladiator time. Menace, the ram, just goes hoying across straight at Elantara. Give me
Oh,
8d4. As he's doing so, he's banging his
6.
sword on his shield.
20.
20. Where is it here? You can see blood like seeping through the soles of his sandals and on his shins and where the padded thing is. So he runs his 20 feet, steps another 10 outside of the thorns. He's now 10 feet from you. And as he stops, he sort of half skids and throws his shield at you.
Ah,
Ding, 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 ding.
Duck.
yes, dodging. I like dodging. Dodging's good.
21.
I don't think she's going to duck.
Da, 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 da.
If this bounces back, I'm calling bullshit.
No. And you take 2, 4, 8 points of bludgeoning damage.
Bastard.
Now give me a strength check.
Do I need to like roll over or under my strength?
You roll. It's a strength saving throw. Sorry.
Okay.
So you need to.
I still don't know what that means.
So next to your near your strength, it should.
Oh yeah, I've got a +1. Right.
Is that your save?
18.
Oh, you've done it. As the shield hits you and then falls to the floor, you almost go prone, but hold yourself. Just as an heads up. He's now shieldless.
Oh, that boy's going to regret this so much in a minute.
As you're stood there, the shield hits you, and as you come back to see, like, what the fuck just hit you, a small silver flash comes through the air from him, and you just see his hand do that. It's not his sword, it's in his other hand. And he gets a 16. What's your AC?
14.
That will hit you. But it'll only do 5 points of damage, piercing. As a dagger just slashes off your shoulder. He's now stood there with his sword, glaring at you.
Right, he's about to get 2 lions to the face.
Yes! Agarios, the hammer! He comes flying. Oh no, he's in battle with Nalla. He brings up his great hammer. He's like, your turn, you big fuck. which is probably not the best thing to shout. 21.
If you want to roll a lot below 21 at any point.
18.
Yeah.
25.
Yeah.
Ding, 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 ding. So he comes in with a great hammer. Boom! Holy shit! Roll 2 6s, double 6. 10. 14 points on the first one. 7, 11. 11 on the second one, so 25. Oh my god, 25, 29, 33, 37 points. So take 18 points of bludgeoning damage as the great hammer smashes into you. Fucking barbarians. 18 points of damage.
Down to what though? Or is it just 18?
No, that's half, man.
Oh, right, okay.
She took 37.
Holy shit. That'd kill me.
That's why I'm front and you're not.
Garbello the Slayer shoots across, gets 10 feet from Malzef. Elantara, give me a 8d4. As he comes running towards you, and he's like, "Ah, fuck yeah!" He just glares at you, Malzef. He's like, "I hate wizards."
No, that's not weird.
Probably not overly keen on druids.
15. 15.
15. Same. His legs are bleeding around his calves, and the pads are soaking through now. They look confused when they're running towards you. Like, what the fuck? It sounds like, way. Yeah. He gets 30 feet from. He gets 10 feet from you, Malzef, and then just uses his dash. You know what I mean? Uses his attack action to dash. He's now stood in front of you, and he uses his bonus action to hit you with his great axe. Probably not. 9, 16.
That hits.
Have you got mage armor on?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I've got armor on, I still only get 16.
There's 9 points of slashing damage.
That's a stinger.
Brutonius, the sword, clangs his 2 short swords together and heads over to Argen. 8d4, Sarah?
Oh, sorry.
Fucking hate this spell. Everybody, just die!
15 again.
15. Same again. All 4 of these guys' calves and ankles are bleeding. As he stands he's 10 feet from you, Argen.
Yeah.
He gets both his short swords and just goes whoosh, and throws them both at you.
Ouch.
Okay.
16.
Hits.
19.
Hits. I might be out here, boys.
5 and 5. 10 points. Piercing damage as they both hit you. And they sort of stick in for a short second and then fall to the floor.
Cool.
So they're in combat. They're in combat. 10 feet, 10 feet. Nice one. Boom, 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 boom. Malzef, because you got an actual 20, you go slightly before Elantara. What do? You got a gentleman.
I know.
In your face. You're in combat. You've got people behind you just giving you a little push forward. Go on, young'un. 6 seconds have passed, by the way.
And we are fucked.
So, are the 3 that are now in front of all of us, would a 20-foot radius sphere hit them?
20-foot radius?
Yeah. So are they still one
Where
gap,
would you stand
one
it?
gap, one? Further back so that it doesn't hit the crowd.
Yeah, so it'll do 40 foot total, and the arena's 50 foot. So you can get, you could hit Nalla, but you couldn't hit the guy she's fighting.
Don't
You
hit
could-
me.
You could hit the 2 that you and Elantara are engaged in. You wouldn't reach Argen and his guy unless
So I
you
could-
moved it.
so I
But then
could-
you'd miss.
So I could hit myself,
two of them.
the 2 in front of us. So myself, Elantara, the 2 in front of us, Nalla, and the 1 in front of her.
If you moved it enough, if you moved it more central, you'd hit the 2 in front of you and Elantara and nobody else.
All right.
Because it kind of go off in the. Oh, but where would that go? No, because then you'll hit the people on your right as well. 40 foot, man. What is it with you and druids? Fucking Jesus.
Area effect.
I
That's a
should
big
probably,
spell. Man.
I should probably not. Probably
Is
not
it a
do that.
damaging spell?
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna fuck it. And the
Uh,
crowd goes wild. And by wild, I mean sets on fire.
All right. Let's just for now. I'm going to unleash 3 scorching rays into the guy in front of me. So I'll go.
There's no attack of opportunity for you casting, is there?
Nah, there shouldn't be.
Cool.
Unless he's got a weird and wonderful thing. So
You can get a feat for it, that's all.
yeah.
It's got Mage Slayer.
So I
Got it.
start forming fire in my hands, and I'm like, Kaseth Gore, and I burst 3 like almost lances of fire into this guy in front of me.
Okay.
I'll make attacks for them. So the first one is 22.
Yep.
The second one is 16.
Yep.
And the third one is a natural 1. So
No, that one missing.
Cool.
So 2 hit.
2 hit. So that does 2d6 so for each. 8. So the first one was 8, and 5, 6, so 6, 8, 14 points of damage. Did he say I can use my bardic inspiration for damage as well?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, because he's a Valor God.
So I'll pop the bardic inspiration, and do. So I said 8. So 4. Let's say 14, 8 and 6. So yeah, 14, 17 points of fire damage.
Total, yeah?
Yep.
He gets engulfed in flame. He sees flesh start scorching, go bright red. His beard gets scorched off down one side of his face. His great axe is like red hot. You can see his fingers all peeling while he holds on, and he's like, hey, mages! Elantara,
Right.
there's a gentleman 10 feet from you.
Yes.
So you're not actually in combat with anyone. Well, he's 5 feet square, then he's in that square.
Excellent. That's really nice. So I'm going to take a little bit of sticky stuff out of my pouch, rub it through my fingers, blow it in his direction, and summon 2 giant spiders.
Okay.
Nice.
Do we have the stats for giant spiders?
Yes.
Yeah,
Which
she
stats would
does.
you like?
Spiders is alive.
Are they just called giant spider?
Yep, large beast, unaligned, AC 14, 26 hit points, strength 14, dex 16, con 12, int 2, was 11, charisma 4, which is surprisingly good for a giant spider.
Giant spider. Boom.
Damage 1d8 plus 3 piercing damage plus 2d8 poison damage.
Cool.
Nice.
I now have them.
What's his life again, Sarah?
Pardon?
What was his life again?
The
What was
giant
his-
spider.
Yeah.
What was it? What?
What's his HP? Hit points. How many has got?
26.
26.
Nearly as much as mine.
I was going to say 36. I was like, that spider is very adequate. Carry on.
There's two of them. There's
There are
fucking
two
two
of
of them. So you just cast them behind him, yeah?
Yep. And I'd be like, get 'em, boys!
Do they get to go now or on your next turn?
They get their own, whatchamacallit.
Initiative?
Yeah.
Of course they do.
And they got a 60.
You control them?
Yes.
Okay, so for arguments, they'll just go on your initiative.
Okay.
Sarah. Do they get to go now, or do they have to wait until your next turn?
How would I know?
It should say in the spell.
Let me have a check.
So I would have thought they go on the next turn, but
Ah, that's a bit rubbish. Okay.
because you've used
My turn to summon them. Yeah. It doesn't say.
Okay, I'm going to go with they go on the next turn. It just
Okay.
makes more sense.
Shit. I'm a bit fucked there. Should be called lightning instead.
Can you do anything with your bonus action, or
I've got a bonus. Oh, what can I do with my bonus action?
uh,
Can I do cantrips with my bonus action?
if it says bonus action, then yes. It should say in the spell if it takes an action or a bonus action to do.
Oh god. They've put all the spells in this really awkward side bit now.
Yeah, we were on about the spells. They're a bit weird.
If you click actions, you can see all your bonus actions. Just
Ooh.
I find it really useful.
Ah, yeah. If you scroll down, bonus actions, and it'll tell you any spells.
Oh yeah. Okay. Am I around any stone? Are we standing on stone? Is the stone wall behind me?
You stood on stone.
Brilliant. I can meld into stone.
Oh, nice. What does that do? You literally just sink into the stone.
Yeah.
That'll definitely take you out of the fight.
Or I can also turn into a giant spider.
Okay. It's on you.
No, hang on. What animals are those?
What, so you turn into the same thing, so there'd be three of you?
I know. How cool would that be?
Which one's Elantara?
Just, wild shape's really good for you in the sense that I'd have to take off the hit points of the spider first, then yours. So it's almost like extra hit points if you
I
change.
don't understand that.
You live longer. That's all you need to know.
Okay. Oh, oh wow. I can turn into a swarm of ravens. No, that can't be true. A beast. Okay. Giant wolf spider it is then.
You turn into a giant wolf spider.
Yeah, I don't know how that's different from a normal spider.
What challenge rating is the giant wolf spider?
It's the same. It's goes back and checks. 1-4.
One? No, that can't be right. You must be able to do more than that.
Giant wolf spider.
What is it? Can you not change into? Oh, that might be with an action. Oh, you can change into a giant wolf spider. Smaller than a giant spider, but yeah.
Awesome.
Is that what you want to do?
Yes.
Have you got the stats up?
No, hang on.
So when you bring up giant wolf spider, that is what Elantara does until you change back or I kill you.
Okay.
But all that happens is if I kill the spider, you just change back to Elantara druid form.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. I see what you mean now.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Yep.
Right, so that is Elantara done?
Soon as it loads.
Argen.
So am I right? The swords are at my feet, yeah.
The swords are
I need 10
at your feet, yeah.
She
And
can't
he's
say
10
that.
feet from you.
I run directly towards him.
Okay.
I grab the special necklace. The special necklace. Rip it off me and punch him with it.
The special necklace, as in the background special necklace.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I punch him with it, bestowing a curse. Spell. Wisdom saving throw. It's not a background, it's just a spell. I just wanted to do it for flavor.
Wisdom.
Wisdom, yeah.
+1. Natural 1.
Oh,
You are now cursed, sir. Thank fuck for that. I choose, well, you're now cursed for a minute. I choose one ability score, so I'm going to choose wisdom. So now you have disadvantage on. While cursed, the target has disadvantage on attack rolls against me.
Okay.
While cursed, the target must make a wisdom saving throw at the start of each turn. If it fails, it wastes the action that it's doing as it's doing nothing.
Yep.
And while the target is cursed, your attacks do 1d8 required damage to it.
Your attacks do 1d8 to him. Okay. Is that your go?
I'm going to use Healing Word at the 3rd level of myself.
You can't as a bonus action, mate. You can only do level 2.
Can I?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do level 2.
Cool. Heal yourself.
2d4 plus 3. 4.
Fucking throwing your dice everywhere, lad.
Fucking hell, I'm lucky.
So you healed yourself, yeah?
Yep. By 11 points.
Nalla, you're up. So
Yeah.
you've just seen 2 giant spiders appear behind one of the gladiators. You've just seen Elantara turn into a giant wolf spider, which is a bit hairier than the other 2, but not as big. Malzeth set a guy on fire. Argen just punched a guy in the face, and then this like strange greenish, smoky, necrotic energies covered the guy and then faded into him. And then Argen healed himself.
Nice.
And you're stood in front of a gentleman with a great hammer, raging your tits off.
Okay, I got 26.
Yeah, that will hit him in the face.
And a 19. So
Yep, both hit.
God. 15 for 1 damage. And 15 for the next.
30 damage.
Yeah, I rolled a 10 and it's +5.
That's fine.
Oh, hefty.
So,
Look, I rolled 10 twice.
these 2 gashes that are on his chest, he sort of like bounces off, and then he clubs you with his hammer 3 times. You then crunch into him, smash into his collarbone, gash him open. Your other one comes into his ribs, gash him open. He's swaying, but he's still standing. And he
will go down.
now the gentleman with 2 spiders around him is like, "What the fuck? What fuck?" And he hits spider number 1. No, he doesn't. He rolled a 2.
Yay!
He tries to strike it again with a 25.
Ooh.
Let me get the giant spider. Giant spiders at 26 against 26. 103. So his sword stabs in, misses as the spider skitters about. Second strike stabs into the spider and does. That's too much fucking. 5, 9 points of damage. So you're still on 17. Blood and ichor pops out of the spider, and the spider's like. He hits it. No, I don't fucking know. Stabs it, misses. Stabs it, sinks in. Stabs it again, misses. What's his fucking go? Useless bastard. I'll go with the hammer. So, big woman. Right. Sledgehammer of doom. Goes for the head. 25. Second strike. 13.
Where are you? Where are you?
Some of your AC is not 13.
Oh no, it's 16.
Go. First one hits, second one misses. And the third one is a natural 1.
You stab himself in the face and die.
Not with a hammer, no.
Smash the face.
It bounces off you and hits him in the office.
He slams into you with his hammer. It hits your chest. And you just boob pop it off. He hits you with the other boob. You boob pop it off. But then he catches you a cheeky one with the great hammer to the face. Does 7 points of damage, half to take 4 points of bludgeoning damage. That's 3 sledgehammer attacks.
How much, sorry?
3 points. 4 points, sorry, 4 points.
I'm happy with 3.
Well, +1, you blink too hard. You don't know your own strength. Garbello the Slayer with his great axe stands before Malzeth.
This is gonna suck.
Swings once with a 23. Swings twice.
Can you do the first one? Do the damage on it first.
Okay.
Because I got a reaction.
The great axe comes in. There's 14 points of slashing damage.
Shit. He's got to make a dex saving throw.
Okay. $17.
He saves, so he takes 5 points of fire damage. Nice.
Second, it was 26.
That hits.
14 points of damage.
So how much was the first damage?
14.
14. So 14 and 14, yeah?
You took 28. Third attack as the axe.
I'm out on those two.
Yeah, it's all at the same time, mate.
Alright, cool.
He 26 again.
That hits.
13 points of damage.
So that'll be a automatic crit and 2 failures, right?
No. Yeah, because the first 2 took you down, didn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, so it's 2 failures. So yeah, axes come flying in, smash. You hit the deck, and as you go down, the third axe comes down and just gashes across your neck, and you see blood pumping out.
Cool.
And you have 2 failed death saves. Brutonius the sword is now stood in front of you, so you stood there. Swords. He goes round the back of you, Argen.
Well, it needs to do a wisdom saving throw where we don't get an action.
Okay.
I did disadvantage as well.
Well, you got a 4 and a 4. Oh, hey! Double 4. He can still move though, yeah?
Yeah.
It just doesn't get his action.
It doesn't get an action. It gets a bonus action.
Cool. He'll move.
Yeah.
Step out of combat, so you get an attack of opportunity.
With a bow.
If you want. You don't have to. You don't have to have it if you don't want.
I'll take anything I can get. 13.
No. Are you not at... I'm at disadvantage to it, you. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, so your arrow whizzes over him, uses bonus action to pick his swords up, and then he moves back into combat with you.
Yeah.
Right. And that's his go. Malzeth.
Dead.
Give me a death saving throw.
I rolled a 5. I'm gone.
Oh no!
The fuck?
I'm gone.
So, as it goes round, bear in mind we're now on 12, 13 seconds of combat. Goes round. Guy runs in, gets his short sword, steps back into combat with Argen, and then you just hear this, and then silence from Malzeth on the floor.
I'm not comfortable with this no more.
Right. That's Malzeth. Elantara. You're a giant wolf spider. You've got 2 spiders in front of you fighting a gladiator.
I'm gonna jump on the glad. Is he turned around? Yeah, he's turned around.
Yeah, he's got his back
Right,
to you. Could have stepped up and...
Brilliant! I'm gonna jump on his back.
Oh, nice. It's still considered medium, so yeah, you're gonna hurt this motherfucker. Right, go. Do spider death.
Yeah, I'm gonna bite him.
Bite him.
I get d6 plus 1. 3 points of damage, but I get to poison him.
Did you hit him? Did you hit him?
Oh, I need to roll to hit, don't I?
Yes.
How do I do that again?
Roll a d20, and for your spider, it's +3 to hit.
Probably not, 12.
Oh no! So your spider, you jump on his back. You're heavy because you're like the size of Tiny. Did you leave Tiny out of the fight?
I'm not bringing Tiny into a fight. This isn't his fight.
Fair enough. Just saying, he's a mastiff. You know what I mean? Yeah. So you try to sink your teeth in, but you feel the fangs. They push against the leather. Your 2 spiders on the other side attack.
Right, better dice rolls. Right, that one's missed as well. Come on, dice.
They get a +5, the big spiders.
Oh, do they? Okay, so 17.
17 hits.
Yep. And this one misses because it's shit.
So the first spider bites and does 1d8 +3.
Oh, d8. Yeah. Oh, yeah, they're bigger, aren't they? I know I have a d8. Yeah. 9 points.
Oh, nice. 9 points, and they must make a Constitution save with a natural 1. He is now poisoned. So roll 2d8.
4. 12.
Yay.
So 12, and what went first? Lot 9.
Yeah.
So his bite was 9, and then the 12, so 21. Yeah.
Yep. Who's a good spider?
21. So as your 2 spiders leap onto him and start biting him, the first one, as he's wrestling with its pincers to stay away from it, the second one sinks its teeth into the back of his neck, and you can see all the black veins just like reaching up through its neck as it's pumping venom into him. Poison for an hour again. 120, 61. He sinks to his knees and just falls forward on his face. And there's just this poison pumping into him.
Excellent. I'm going to use my bonus action to turn back into an elf then.
Okay. That's Argen. This cursed individual now has his 2 swords in his hand. He's now facing you.
I'm going to pull my rapier. Can I, as a bonus action, can I pull my shield? Would that be alright? Yeah. And I'm going to stab him.
Stab.
What was the actual? We are on 23.
Stab.
So I get one of them and a D10, which is one of them. 10 points of piercing damage and 6 points of necrotic damage. 16, 20.
Rapier being thin and pointy slips through some of the leather-studded armour that he's got around him. And as it hits him, you see a pulse from your curse, like this green shimmer goes across him. He looks pasty and sweaty. He does a little bit of on the floor. Argen. Nalla, still raging out in front of the hammerman.
Okay. How far is Malzef behind me?
You have. Give me a perception check at disadvantage. Because you are raging and in combat and probably wouldn't be looking over your shoulder.
Oh.
You do not see Malzef hit the deck.
What am I having to it? 14.
14, you won off. As in you failed. Did you roll at disadvantage as well?
Yeah, the first one. Okay.
No, you're concentrating, you're raging out, frothing at the mouth, smashing a block in front of you, 40 odd feet away from you.
$18 for my first.
18.
26 for the second.
Yeah. Where are you?
8 for the first.
Hang on, 8.
Damage.
He hits the deck on the first swipe. Gashes across him, you just miss his throat. What did you say, 8?
Yeah.
Yeah. And on the second one, you don't need to do damage, you automatically crit him. And you sink your axe into his chest piece, splitting his leather armour. And he fails 2 death saving throws. Automatically.
At that point, can I turn round?
You can if you want.
Well, he's more or less dead on the floor, so.
It is, yeah.
And
You've still got your movement, so you just kill the guy, so you don't have an action, but you still have your bonus and movement.
if I turn around, I'll be able to see Malzef on the floor.
Yeah.
Can I run towards him and get in between him and the other guy that's in front of him?
The guy that's in front of him.
Yeah.
5, 10, 15. Yeah, you can get to that guy.
Can I get in between them?
Nope.
Can I shoulder barge him away?
Nope. That'll take an action. You can't physically hit him, but you can run over and be in combat with him.
Okay.
Elantara?
Yep.
You know your thorny floor?
Yes.
Is it a concentration spell?
No. It just stays
Once it's
there.
it's there. Can you roll me 8d4, please?
God.
Roll low.
Yeah,
I'll
you're
try.
But still, I am getting low.
Fucking terminate. Fucking Sarah's face is
Is the spell not spike growth?
Yeah, doesn't it
That's
just...
concentration.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, so it disappeared when you changed into your spider then.
Okay.
Okay, so you don't worry about that now.
Oof.
Cool. So all those double 4s you rolled are fine. Right, so now you go running over, boom, you're in there. Down. 3, 2, down. So bang, bang. Gabello the Slayer with his great axe turns and sees Nalla. Ignores Malzef on the floor. 14. Natural 1. And a 24. Smashes his great axe into you. There's 6, 10, 19, rounded down. You take 10 points of damage, slashing damage. As he turns, sees you, panics, and just swings his axe 3 times at you. There's 10 points of damage. Shocking. Plutonius, a sword, 2 swords in hand, decides to end a man that cursed his very life. Disadvantage, these, yeah?
Wisdom save at disadvantage.
Natural 18. Oh, disadvantage.
Yeah.
18 and a 16 plus 1.
So,
Oh, no, plus 0. So 16, mate.
it gets an action this turn.
Bastards. Right. But his disadvantage to attack, yeah?
Yes.
11.
No.
Your AC's gone up on it with your shield.
Yes, it's 18 now.
Go. 13.
No.
And 11. So, 2 short swords come flying in. Ching, ching, ching. As you just parry him with your shield. Does he take any necrotic damage or only when you attack?
Only when they attack him.
Miles. Elantara. You're back in elf form. Your 2 giant spiders. Do you want them to attack first before you do anything?
Yes.
Oh, well, he's on the floor. So you have they drop the person that you were fighting, and Nalla drops somebody on the far side. There is somebody. If you look to your right, Malzef is on the floor. Nalla's in a combat with the person with the great axe. If you look to your left, a few feet away from you, is Argen in combat with the person with 2 swords.
Yeah, so the spiders to my left then.
So
I'm pretty sure Nalla's looking after herself.
Yeah. The spider's going.
Not for Argen, they go to help Argen.
Yeah, sorry, yeah. Argen.
Important distinction.
30 feet. 5, 10.
They can move.
They can go straight into combat with said gladiator.
Fab.
So do you wish them to go in and bite?
Yes.
Go, D20 plus 5. Oh, where's that guy?
Oh.
Oh,
2 got 17. Sorry, plus 5, 20.
oh yeah, Jesus, yeah. So the first one, while he's doing distraction again.
Yeah, first one's just gone for the face.
Second one sinks teeth in and does 1d8 plus 3.
5.
5?
Yeah.
Poison, DC 11. Fucking hell. He's poisoned. Do 2d8.
15.
Well, fuck me. Again, almost a repeat of what you've just seen. Argen, you're stood there parrying this guy's swords when 2 giant spiders come flying over and start snapping at his torso with their what do you call them?
Mandibles.
Mandibles. Talons, fangs, mandibles. And while he shits himself and the first one comes over, the second one comes over, just sinks into his ribs, and this pumping noise comes from its face. On top of his curse, he's fucking not having a good day. Fucking man's been abused. Right, so there's your 2 spiders, love. So now it's actually your go.
Does Malzeth look
Medicine
bad
check.
down?
Medicine check.
That's a good point. I have plus 6 on a medicine check. Is that a D20?
Yep, D20 plus 6. You need a 10 or more.
No.
You didn't get 10 or more?
Nope. The spiders can probably tell better.
Oh my god.
I didn't get a 1. I got a 2.
Oh, that's nice. You look across, you see Malzef down. He's not really moving. You've no idea if he's conscious or dead.
I'm sure he'll shake off in a minute.
I died. Walk it off. So you still got your action and stuff, so you can still do stuff.
Right. I will go and can I get over to the person that Nalla's fighting? Cudgel them on the back of the head.
You can indeed.
Brilliant. Come on up.
So you step round Malzef and swing the shillelagh.
Yep. A bit better for my attack. Do I get an attack bonus?
Advantage, because you will be flanking.
Hey.
So roll twice, take your highest.
Oh, okay. 13.
13?
Yep.
You miss.
Bum.
So your shillelagh comes flying in and hits him, but it just thuds. And he just sort of looks over his shoulder like, what are you doing? That will be Elantara's go. Argen, there's you and 2 giant spiders fighting a cursed poison gentleman.
Can I see Malzeth?
2 giant spiders. Blah, 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 blah. Perception check. Need a 15 or more.
Got a natural 1.
You do not see Malzeth down.
I will just, I'm having not seen him, I'll concentrate on the fire hand. And I'm going to smash the 4 bloke to death.
You probably will.
Why didn't I? Whatever. I'm not going to ask. I'm not even going to ask. It's a fucking 22. No, wait, that's no.
You've hit.
It's a 20 somewhere.
You've hit.
Hold on, Matt. So it's D8 and D10. These 2. So 9 points to necrotic and 7 points of piercing.
Your rapier goes through his chest, and you see the necrotic energy burst from the wound, smother around him, and then suck back into the sword as he hits the deck unconscious.
Hey, Malzeth, did you see that? Not Malzeth?
Nalla. Malzeth on the floor in front of you. Elantara's come over to help you, and she hits him with a stick, but just thuds. You're still frothing. You see blue-haired elf. You see Gladiator of Doom.
He's the last one, isn't he?
He is indeed.
Can I pick Malzeth up? I know it's probably going to give him a opportunity or whatever it is,
Sorry,
and move him out of the way to give him a potion.
medicine check. Need a 10 or more.
I rolled a 17.
You know he's dead.
Oh shit! Right, this guy's getting fucked.
Well.
Right, turn around and smash the other guy in the face.
Go.
27.
That definitely is.
22.
22.
17 damage on first. 16 on next.
So, first one comes in. He tries to put his is it hammer he's got over him. Tries to put his great axe up to block, but you just smash through his guard, batter his great axe out of the way, and conk him upside the head. A huge gash comes across his head, and he hits the deck, bleeding out of his face. You're still raging. You come round with your second moss, he's on the floor, and smash it into his back, and he takes 2 failed saves. Let's go. There's no more left in there. The crowd go wild. No one's really noticed what's going on. The guy with the sashes and the dwarf come running in. Everyone's almost ready to burst into the arena after seeing such a display of 24 seconds of battle. And the dwarf goes running up to Malzeth and immediately puts a potion into his mouth. The guy with the sashes runs over to the guy with the great axe and the guy with the sword and shield. He gives them a potion each. They sort of come round. The dwarf doesn't even stick around there. Malzeth just gives him a potion, and and he runs over to the other two gladiators and gives them a potion. And they sort of get up like half groggy, really low, like their wounds have not necessarily healed, but they're no longer bleeding anymore. The only person that doesn't get up is Malzef. The crowd is screaming. When Malzef doesn't get up, the crowd goes quiet, and there's a very strange silence starts brewing. And the dwarf goes over to Malzef, starts checking him, and he just looks at the guy with the sashes, and he looks at you a lot, and he just shakes his head. Sorry guys, but this one's gone.
I walk over to him.
To the dwarf or to Malzef?
To the dwarf.
Dwarf says he's on his knees next to Malzef.
You said this was not to the death.
You guys said it was not to the death, and I did say if you do die, I do apologise. Fighting in a pit.
Is there any healers in town?
There's plenty of healers, but he's brown bread, my friend.
We need a good healer, like a really good one. There was one in Ravenholm that could do this thing.
It's beyond any magics we have here, but it's probably the young lad's probably right. There are priests and priestesses at the wells. Do you want him? Does he have any funeral rites, or what do you want us to do with the body?
I go to punch the dwarf.
Okay, D20. You still raging?
Yeah.
Of course, yeah.
Oh my.
I rolled a 19 plus 8.
That is. It's not your axe damage. It's your strength plus 1, love. Sorry, it's a D4 plus your strength.
What?
Roll damage to punch. Roll a D4 plus your strength.
Is it the plus 8 or the plus 5?
5, love, plus 5.
8.
So as he says that, you can see Nalla strike downwards and crack him outside of face. And you hear a loud crack, and he just goes, oh, spits on the floor, and a tooth rocks out onto the paper. So he's like, all right, lady, all right.
Yeah, no, I calm down.
I pick Malzef up and walk off.
Nalla scoops.
Right,
She starts walking away.
I'll push for this.
Get the money off of him and we're going. So get someone to sort him out.
Which one?
The guy in the sashes comes over to you, Argen, and he's like, well fought. Your lot are quite formidable. Here, he dumps a sack of gold in your hand.
Wait, which one killed him? I asked the guy with the sashes.
The guy with the great axe. The gentleman, Garbello the Slayer, nearly died himself.
It's a shame he didn't.
I walk over to the Garbello the Slayer.
He looks in. What the fuck?
I believe the dwarf said you'd say sorry if you killed someone.
I apologize. Truly, I do. I do not fight to kill.
Well, you did. That blood's on your hands now.
It's on all our hands. You entered the arena.
I walk off.
Lets you walk off. So where are you going now?
I don't know.
I walk after Nalla. What do we do? Do we try and find someone, a really good healer?
As you're talking, you hear more cheering from where you've just left, as though more fights have started.
Is it something that priests can do to bring someone back from death?
I don't know. I don't know the ins and outs
Elantara,
of
give
it.
me a let me have a look, sorry.
Religion check?
What's your highest religion or history?
Religion.
Roll religion.
So there's like these gods, right? And they really like some people who spend a lot of time talking to them. And they're the priests, right?
Wow. Fucking druids.
Yeah, I got 8.
Yeah, so you know there are people that follow the gods and goddesses of the world. Well, you have no idea if they can resurrect. You've heard myth and legend, but you've no hard evidence.
Mm-hmm.
I take him to where Tiny is.
You take him to Tiny?
Yeah.
Oh, so as you're making your way, Argen, give me a wisdom check. Check, not save you.
Just to check. 20.
20, nice one. So as you're walking behind Nalla, and she's clearly like pottering down, you're trying to focus on that memory when you said a moment ago that somebody could do this back in Ravenholm, and you can't think of the face or the name. You just remember the moment where a young girl was brought out from a ruin where bandits or cultists or something had taken them, and this sole survivor, this little girl, was brought back. Say survivor. As far as your memory lets you believe, she'd passed. But there was someone of the Watchers that brought them back through magic. You just can't remember who they were, what they looked like. But your memory immediately of, someone did this in Ravenholm. You've seen it done before, but you've got no detail of how or who.
I just know it's possible.
You just know it's possible.
Oh, okay.
So you make your way to Whitelocks. People are avoiding you. They're not like moving out of your way, but they're not like running away. They're giving you a wide berth as this hulking warrior is carrying this small lifeless form in her arms, and she walks past for the merchant area, and the guy with the swords goes, hey there, how did the fighting go?
Just walk past him.
As you walk past him, he sees Miles. And he's like, "Oh, hope you made some money." As you walk off, you walk into Whitelocks, the old timer behind the bars there. There's no sign of Etain or Tiny, but there is a purple-skinned dragonborn with a sword of amethyst at his hip, and his horns are made of what appear to be gemstone. His eyes are inquisitive, and he's just resting against the bar. And he just looks. He's the only one in there bar the barman, behind an old human gentleman. Well, your friend looks rough.
He's dead.
Sorry to hear that. The old timer behind the bar's like, can I get you anything?
Someone that can bring him back.
He just looks sheepishly and just looks down at the floor. He's like, and he just walks away.
Barman.
He turns.
I need a drink.
Yes.
That's something you can do, right?
The purple-skinned dragonborn's like, why do you want to bring him back?
Because
Why wouldn't we?
he's our friend. And it was our fault But my fault. I told him it was a stupid fight.
For friendship and loyalty.
Yes.
What would you be willing to pay?
Why, do you know someone?
I'm Dragonborn, child. I know everyone.
What do you want?
I don't want anything. I was simply curious how far you'd be willing to go and pay for the resurrection of your friend.
So you're not actually helpful.
Not directly, no.
Okay, do you know someone that
Say there was a price, I'm sure we would be able to pay it. That's the answer to my question. That was your question.
You're in the Etain Empire, the most religious place on this side of the globe. Sure. Find a temple, find a priest, pay him a kindly sum, find a priestess, find those that worship the Celestials.
Barman.
He comes back. Yes, you wanted a drink.
Yeah, and information if you can.
I'll do my best.
Do you know the town? Do you know the town?
Yes, I've lived here most of my life.
Temples, priests, anything like
that? Temples and priests, not so much here in the town, but not far from here there are a lot of our temples are out in the. I don't know if wilds is the right word.
How
But
far?
what? Sorry.
How far?
Maybe a day's travel south of here, further inland. There's always pilgrimages and prayers going on. You could maybe ask, or ask down at the docks. There's always foreigners coming in with skills and mercenaries that you yourselves look the sort to be travellers and mercenary-esque.
Thank you. Anyone else want a drink?
On the house.
Thank you.
I'll take a wine.
So, as far as I'm aware, this is possible to bring him back to life. I just don't think we have a long time to think about it, though. We got that quickly.
I go over to the other guy that was sat down, ask him if he knows of anywhere close.
The purple dragon one.
About all this lot.
The purple dragon one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you go over. He's sat having a drink. Yes.
Since you seem to know about all this lot, do you know what's closest place?
I believe the barman. He's lived here longer than I have. I'd also check more locally. The harbour is full of ships. You yourselves are adventurers, yes?
Yeah.
Look at the way you're garbed compared to the sailors all about you. The two that came in here before, the hulking one in the black robe and the young half-elf. She spoke of you. More adventurers.
Right.
You're not the only adventurers or mercenaries or people of talent to pass through the harbour. And from the looks of you, you're all barely from your mother's nipple. Maybe you should look for more experienced warriors and priests and such.
Okay. I head to. Well, I think. Well, you said. You said walk towards the other place, the day's walk away.
I don't know the name of the place, but the only thing I know directly south of here is Bronze Falls, a small town of delightful people.
And this big place has no churches or anything in it.
Tool?
Where we are now, yeah.
There are no churches here that I'm aware of. It's not a praying person's haven. It's more for get in, drop your wares, sell your things, take part in the fight pits, which is dangerous for some, and then off they go.
We could try down the harbour. See if we see anyone.
The young one is wise.
What do you think?
Sounds good.
We leave Malzif here with Sendraks.
I'm probably not the best to go around asking people stuff at the moment, so I'm going to stay here.
Look after Malzif. Elantara, you should help.
Yeah, I'll come down to the docks.
We'll go to the harbour, see if there's anyone there with the ability to do this. Right.
So Elantara and Argen, you're going to go to the docks.
Mm-hmm.
Nalla, and I'm assuming Malzef are staying in the pub. Elantara and Argen, you leave White Locks. A strong breeze, and a smell of sand and sea and salt all hit you all at once. You walk off towards the docks. In all this time that's passed, the elven ship is still there, as Elantara knows they've paid to stay there for as long as they need to. 2 different ships have replaced the half-orc, half-human ship and full human ship. They're no longer like the Northern Viconian Survivor. There's still 2 masts. One of them is actually a dwarven ship, or appears to be predominantly dwarven. And the other ship are humans again, but they seem to be... give me a perception check, Sam, with advantage.
About 20 plus 7.
That'll do, mate. They are flying the sails of the Twin Ravens of Ravenholm. Yeah. Now in the dock area is the 3-mast elven ship, a 2-mast dwarf ship, and a 2-mast Ravenholm ship. Several races on there. You start walking off towards them. Nalla, are you taking Malzef to a room somewhere?
I ask where
Where your friends are?
Yeah.
So the barman explains that the half-elf girl, she rented a room for her and the large robed gentleman. It's room number 12, just up the stairs.
Okay, I pick Miles up and take him up there.
So as you take him up there, you get to the door. You knock on the door and you just hear, "How do, love?" And we'll leave it there. End of session.
Fuck sake.
I can't believe you've got me crying.
Get that recorded, Eddie. That's gold right there.
That's subscribers, that is, mate.
I thought Sam were going to go earlier.
I'm a bit lost for words. I didn't even get around to heal him. Just like dead.
Yeah.
To be fair, when Eddie reminded me of the auto crit, I was like, "Oh dear."
Oh, well, that's bad.
So we'll allow Noodle and Giles to react as they see fit.
Also, Bestow Curse is a fucking dope spell.
On a punch.
It's on a touch. So I thought I'd throw in some flavour.
It was very nice. It was very nice.
A punch with a curse necklace. Boom.
So, I hope you enjoyed yourselves. It was a bit more A bit more emotional than I expected.
You do realise now, though, we are never going to do fighting pits. We're never going to do any fucking arenas. You know, these things you were like, oh yeah, you know, I'll get between the role play, we'll do arenas and fighting pits. Yeah, I know that's going to happen.
I just figured the other two weren't here, so I was like, it's an easy session, isn't it?
I just figured you wouldn't send the wizard into an arena.
Well, they said magic, so they might have had magic as well. It could have been a wizard off.
They-
I took
they-
counter spell. Literally took
wizard.
counter spell.
Oh,
I was ready. I was poised.
7 giant spiders. Yeah.
That's badass. That was full on druid mode. That. Oh, we're in a fight. I will summon nature and turn into it.
Clack, clack, clack.
Them fucking spiders. They're poison. Like the extra damage.
Yeah, the poison slug it, doesn't it?
The extra poisons, the curses, you know, the little additional stuff you stick on, like buffs and debuffs. That's it's really big, you know, in thick there. So, yeah.
I'm quite happy with my level 5 spell choice. I'm quite happy with- I was like, oh, these are all shit. What's bespoke curse do? That is amazing.
The thing with bards, mate, is they're very utilitarian, so
Yeah.
they're just a catch-all.
Yeah,
So
as long as no one else is. I was dreading that the Malzef were going to get done in, and then that other guy was just going to slam it at the back of me. I'm like, well, I'm fucked.
So, well, 2 of them were on 2 death saving. Had failed 2 death saving throws because of what happened to Malzef. Yeah. Right. Hope you had fun, guys. I'm desperately trying to get the streaming sorted, but due to technical difficulties and my fucking hatred of technology.
Are you in IT?
No, but let's not talk about that. All right. Let's just push that under the rug. So yeah. Have fun. See you all soon. Love you all. Bye bye.
Eddy make a new character. How about that?